Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Wow, guys, this is the biggest information packed show I've ever done, so kick back and take it all in. This is both news and possibly a warning, so remember, Uncle Frank pointed this out during all the excitement. A headline from Bloomberg: record inflows for U.S. ETFs. Traders plowed in $913 billion so far, breaking 2021's annual haul. This year was already a landmark for exchange-traded funds, but as of Friday, the ETF universe can add another superlative: biggest annual inflows on record. The insatiable appetite for the investor-friendly wrapper, an all-time high number of product launches, and a relentless bull market fueled by Trump's victory have helped push total net inflows into U.S. ETFs past $913 billion. That beats 2021's record haul with still one more month to go. Wall Street posted its worst weekly performance since the start of September and has now notched a negative week in 3 of the last 4. It was still a historic week for the S&P, which on Monday closed above 6,000 points for the first time ever. That milestone was achieved when sentiment was still in a post-election hangover. Donald Trump's victory over Harris on November 5th sparked a furious rally that had propelled the S&P to its best week in over a year. But the focus over the rest of the week quickly shifted back to economic data and the Fed. Slightly hot consumer and producer inflation data, along with a comment from Jay Powell on Thursday, which suggested the central bank would not be, quote, in a hurry to lower rates, weighed on markets, especially on Friday. According to the CME FedWatch tool, the probability of a 25 basis point interest rate cut in December has fallen to about 60% from 72% a day ago and nearly 65% a week ago. Still, despite this week's decline, the benchmark S&P remains 1.5% higher than its closing level on election day. So on Friday, S&P shed 78.55 or 1.32% to finish at 5870. The Dow shed 305.87 or 0.70%, finished at 43,444. NASDAQ lost 427.53, the worst of the three, down 2.24%, finishing at 18,680. Crude oil 66.95, lost 2.5%. Gold 25.6740, lost $5.50 or 0.21%. What I tell you guys, there's the 30-minute on the VIX from a low of 1359, vaulted to 1755, finished on Friday at 1614, up 183 or 12.79%. As of Friday, Bitcoin had gained 18.9% and XRP added 67.3%. But at the time of this recording on Saturday, I've got XRP at $1.15. That's up 107.81% over the past 7 days. Top gainers of the S&P last week: Palantir 13%, Disney 16%. Top losers: SMCI lost 24% and Moderna lost 21%. Is anyone going to miss the Biden administration? I won't. Fox Business confirms Ripple's CEO meeting with Donald Trump. During an interview with Garlinghouse, Fox Business anchorwoman Liz Claman raised the matter, asking the Ripple CEO to confirm whether the reported meeting with the U.S. president-elect had taken place. Responding, Garlinghouse jokingly said he would not like to comment on too many specifics. Interestingly, Liz emphasized that she would consider Garlinghouse's response a yes. Meanwhile, rumors of Garlinghouse meeting with Trump after the presidential election had a tremendous impact on the price of XRP, which exploded above the 90-cent mark yesterday. This surge follows speculations that the long-standing lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple might be ending soon. The lawsuit has negatively impacted XRP's performance since it was introduced December 22nd of 2020. Since the lawsuit, XRP has missed major rallies. Tell me about it, including the 2021 bull run. While several XRP enthusiasts believe the legal tussle would finally be settled after Judge Torres issued the final judgment in August, the SEC appealed the ruling 2 months later. But it's all good in the hood because the worst chair in the SEC's history is expected to step down after Thanksgiving, making this holiday the best one in over 4 years. I wish you and your families a peaceful and safe Thanksgiving, and may God bless you and prosper you in 2025 to make up for the likes of people like Adam Aron, Ken Griffin, and Gary Gensler. Hashtag Bitcoin this week has been nothing short of historic for the crypto market as Bitcoin skyrocketed to an all-time high, reaching an astounding 93,477 on November 13th. Amidst this remarkable surge, the market is abuzz with excitement and speculation, setting the stage for potential shifts and opportunities in the evolving landscape of digital currencies. According to an SEC filing, Goldman Sachs holds $710 million in Bitcoin ETFs. Since the second quarter, Goldman Sachs has added $300 million to its portfolio in Bitcoin ETF holdings, increasing exposure by 71%. From Forbes Saturday morning, Fed suddenly flips on huge $3 trillion market cap, Bitcoin, and crypto price boom. Bitcoin has surged in the wake of Donald Trump's decisive presidential election victory, with the Bitcoin price braced for a huge game changer. The Bitcoin price has closed in on 100,000 per coin, rocketing higher as a perfect storm pushes the combined crypto market back above $3 trillion for the first time since 2021. Now, as Tesla billionaire and Trump advisor Elon Musk issues a serious U.S. bankruptcy warning, a top Fed Reserve official has suddenly softened his criticism of Bitcoin and crypto. XRP price skyrockets past $1 as SEC faces legal troubles and a favorable regulatory shift looms. XRP's price has nearly doubled this week to above $1. The SEC's legal troubles could have a bearing on the agency's pending appeal in the Ripple ruling, which said that XRP sales on public exchanges did not fall under the definition of a security. The price surge is consistent with the recent bullish positioning in the options market. XRP surged past the $1 mark Saturday, hitting a 3-year high amid the U.S. SEC's mounting legal troubles. So, Uncle Frank, what are you looking for next? Let me give you a hint. 21 Shares looks to secure SEC approval for XRP ETF amid growing interest in other crypto funds. Grayscale to launch first U.S. XRP trust, paving way for potential ETF. Ripple's XRP multi-billion boost could be coming as Bitwise officially files for spot XRP ETF. Canary Capital files for XRP ETF, joining crypto race. For those of you that don't know, you can get Netflix free if your cell account is with T-Mobile. I think you could even get basic Hulu free. So go check that out. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul slap with boxing suspensions after controversial Netflix fight. Netflix under fire as fight fans tuning in for Jake Paul-Mike Tyson bout faced a myriad of issues. Well, this was a bad idea from the start. This was a shit show from start to finish as far as Netflix performance was concerned. The transmission was awful, blurry, and constantly interrupted. We'd have done a much better job having this event at AMC. Boxing legend Evander Holyfield and Dallas Cowboys team owner Jerry Jones had their mics cut out while they were trying to talk about the fights. Ironically, Jones was touting the NFL's partnership with Netflix. Sports fans across social media levied complaints about how they couldn't watch the fight without it buffering and disrupting their viewing of the bouts. Issues started to occur during the Barrios and Ramos bout, which was the only entertainment for the entire evening, in my opinion. And the problems only increased ahead of the Serrano and Taylor rematch, which we waited 2 years for, but ended due to an accidental headbutt. The fans were not thrilled with the decision, but I didn't get to see most of it anyway because of Netflix issues. Jake Paul, 27 years old, recorded a unanimous decision victory over the 58-year-old Tyson, who was competing in his first professional, fully sanctioned bout for 19 years. Despite an energetic start from the veteran, he eventually tired, allowing Paul to rack up the rounds to record a victory with scorecards of 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73 in his favor. The event was hailed as the highest-grossing combat sports gate in Texas history and outside of Las Vegas. However, both fighters will now have to sit out for a period of time as per the rules of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. With both fighters wearing heavily padded 14-ounce gloves, the chances of a knockout were lower than usual. We should have just had a pillow fight. Tyson's age looked to have caught up with him. He was less explosive and threw less punches than he did in the earlier rounds. Paul also appeared to be fighting within himself, something he would admit to doing out of respect for Tyson. When asked if he eased up on Tyson, Paul said, yeah, definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt. Well, I didn't want to see Mike Tyson injured either, but I didn't tune in to watch, a sparring exhibition. I tuned in to see a fight. Around 70,000 spectators packed into the AT&T Stadium for the bout, while millions more gathered round their screens to watch on Netflix. But thousands had exited before the final bell due to the one-sided nature of the bout. It sparked widespread backlash on social media from those tuning in from afar. Tyson now has 7 defeats from his 59 professional fights, while Paul moved to 11-1 in his career to date. I wanted Mike Tyson to win, but I bet on Jake Paul. I bet $50. I won $72. Why? Paulie Malignaggi told me there's no chance Mike Tyson wins this bout. Now, for you boxing fans, if you want the real story before the fights, subscribe to two-time world champion Paulie Malignaggi's YouTube channel, Paulie TV. The address is at Paulie TV Brooklyn. Yesterday, before the bout, Paulie put out a video. Jake Paul stops Mike Tyson easy. You are all being fooled. He was proven correct again. These headlines go out to my man at Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, Rob Wicklander, and my son Frankie, a top realtor at Move, spelled M-U-V. These long-awaited headlines are for you guys. Luxury sector lost 50 million customers in 2 years. Mortgage rates fall for the first time in 7 weeks. Housing industry awaits impact from Trump policy. And mortgage application demand rose 0.5% from a week prior. Okay, so Trump is scheduled to be inaugurated on January 20th, which is 65 days away. We have 8 Fed Reserve types scheduled to speak this coming week alone. I'm going to tell you what to watch out for now. But the next 2 weeks is about PCE and real estate. Let me show you why. Monday, November 18th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Home Builder Confidence Index. And on Tuesday, 8:30 a.m., housing starts and building permits. Now, Bill Wang will be sentenced Wednesday, November 20th, for fraud, market manipulation, and racketeering conspiracy. He was convicted in July following a 2-month trial that captivated Wall Street. He faces a maximum of 20 years in prison on each count. Andrew Left, Ken Griffin, Doug Sifu should all be watching carefully. Then, Thursday, November 21st, 8:30 a.m., initial jobless claims, but at 10, existing home sales and the leading economic index. Friday, November 22nd, 9:45 a.m., S&P Flash, services and manufacturing PMI. If that comes in hot, that could be a problem. Then at 10, consumer sentiment. But, next week is the killer. The boss. What will be the most watched release of the year so far? PCE. Now, you should mark your calendar for Tuesday, November 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see the minutes of the Fed's May FOMC meeting. So, Uncle Frank, what exactly is PCE? It's the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. And it's important because it's the Fed Reserve's favorite indicator. The PCE Price Index, released each month in the Personal Income and Outlays Report, reflects changes in the prices of goods and services purchased by consumers in the U.S. Quarterly and annual data are included in the GDP release. Now, on your screen is PCE with the change from month 1 year ago. In June, up 2.4%, July, 2.5%, August, 2.3%, and September, 2.1%. Now, we're waiting for the October PCE report. Now, guys, any of those events could influence this market, but nothing looks more serious to me than Wednesday, November 27th. Beginning at 8:30 a.m., we will see initial jobless claims, durable goods orders, advanced U.S. trade balance in goods, advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, GDP, personal income, personal spending, and then PCE, the entire data group, followed at 10 a.m. by pending home sales. Guys, this could be a pivotal day for the markets. Now, in December, we have GameStop earnings unconfirmed for the 3rd or 4th. GME calls usually suck, but something tells me this one may have some fireworks. GME has been on a tear, and I think something is coming on Ryan Cohen's plans for the future of GameStop. If all that wasn't enough, the last Fed meeting for the year is on the 12th and 13th. Did you catch that? The last possible rate decision for this year falls on Friday the 13th. The final quadruple witching day is the 20th, the following Friday. The most important quad witching date of the year is considered to be the 3rd Friday of December because it marks the simultaneous expiration of multiple derivative contracts, including stock index futures, stock index options, stock options, and single stock futures, often leading to the highest trading volume and market volatility on that day compared to other quad witching dates in March, June, and September. I expect this year's quad witching day to burn the barn down. Pretty quiet on the earnings front for next week, except for NVIDIA after the bell on Wednesday. I would also keep an eye on Walmart and Lowe's Tuesday before the open, Target and TJ Maxx before the open on Wednesday, and Deere before the bell on Thursday. Well, we've given $175 billion to this bullshit, and I'm delighted to report that Zelensky says war will end sooner with Donald Trump as president. Glad to hear it, Putz. This one goes out to Crypto Carl's wife, Betty, the Queen of Shiba, from the Daily Hodl. Top trader says Dogecoin and Shiba Inu has started push to new all-time high. A widely followed crypto analyst and trader is turning bullish on Doge and SHIB. I want to take this time to thank my friend Crypto Carl for introducing me to XRP over 5 years ago. Speaking of Betty, she had an interesting question regarding this preferred share offering from the company Newsmax. Newsmax is on track for their initial public offering as they await SEC approval. If all that goes well, they could be listed on the New York Stock Exchange soon, perhaps as early as January or February of 2025. Now, this notice was an invitation to invest in a preferred share offering. This is not investment advice. I am not an investment advisor. I will never tell you to buy, sell, or hold any securities or cryptocurrencies, but these shares will feature a 7% dividend and come out at a 25% discount from the public offering share price, which is subject to approval at this time. Now, Betty, if you go to the Newsmax investor portal, there you'll see an invitation to enter an email, establish a password, and create an account. As required by SEC rules and regulations, you must be an accredited investor to invest in the offering. And you do that by providing one, a W-2 or tax returns for 2022 and 23 showing income individually of $200,000 or joint filers $300,000, or number two, proof of assets showing a net worth of $1 million net of liabilities. I should mention they typically don't let you count the equity in your home on this calculation. Or item three, a letter from a CPA firm, attorney, or financial advisor. There's Elon Musk. X, formerly known as Twitter, sees return of major advertisers as NewsGuard and the boycott cartel come under fire from the FCC, while Sissy, Mark Cuban, and other sore losers are leaving X to shout into the void. Several major advertisers have returned to the platform. Yes, the grown-ups are in charge again. No safe spaces or shouting hate speech against everything you simply disagree with. Popcorn buckets and merchandise have become big business for theaters, and I have an update for you from the Direct. Moana 2 popcorn buckets from Regal, AMC, and Cinemark. Where to buy the Nacho Boat and merchandise. So here's what AMC is offering. Pay close attention. On your screen is the Beachside Bundle. It includes a large popcorn and drink. Save $2.99 when you buy both. There's our popcorn tin, and inside is the Kakamora Coconut Sipper Cup. But now look at what Cinemark has going. Look at that popcorn bucket with the little Moana and other figurines on it. Now check out Regal's offering. There's their Wave popcorn container. And look what else Regal has going for Moana 2. A collector's boat with nachos. And look at all the other fun shit the people at Regal are coming up with. They've got a collector's dome cup and popcorn tin, along with Funko Pop figures and keychains. These people get paid a third of what the AMC execs get paid. There's the Gladiator 2 Popcorn Arena Bucket. The Cinemark exclusive is being sold without popcorn for $22.99. Comparable buckets typically cost $24.99 to $30 or more depending on the theater. Cinemark closed at $31.84 on Friday, but not before scoring a new 52-week high of $33.11. That close put CNK up over 114% for the year, even though they have more debt per screen than AMC has. Well, Uncle Frank, that's because retail owns AMC and the institutions own CNK. And you know, Ken Griffin. Really? Are those the only reasons? Or is it because our company is run by a bunch of Wall Street private equity assholes and Cinemark is run by professionals from the exhibition business? Yeah, keep listening to that butt plug, Tony DeNaro, the wedding dress salesman. Twinkle Toes taught himself how to read a balance sheet and an income statement, but has no clue how to read management's decisions on CapEx or how it will affect the stock price or earnings going forward. Tell me, Tony, is that why we invested in a bankrupt gold mine? Tell me why our CFO is the second highest paid board member at Hycroft. Is that why we spent $25 million on a commercial that only plays inside the theater when Chanel paid Nicole half that amount and went media wide with their commercial? Is that why we launched a branded credit card but only made it available to members of Investor Connect? Is that why we launched a popcorn line but only made it available in one retail chain initially? Is that why we invested $250 million in green projectors when we were over $5 billion in debt, or $100 million in pop machines? Is that why we gave millions of shares of AMC away for less than a penny as a preferred share dividend instead of selling them like Newsmax is in this very video? Is that why we performed a reverse split when we were in no danger of being delisted, you ass clown? Do you know Cinemark has never reverse split its stock, Tony? Explain why we pay our CEO triple what the Cinemark CEO earns. Do me a favor. Keep my name out of your mouth and run your fruity show, and stop pretending you know what you're talking about, SpongeBob. The only good news I have for current AMC shareholders comes in the way of GME or GameStop. This is not investment advice. I am not an investment advisor. I am not telling you to buy, hold, or sell AMC or GME, but I have a strong feeling that GME is building towards something. And if history repeats itself, AMC may track it higher. GameStop closed at $26.59, shedding 78 cents or 2.85% on Friday. An elite hedge fund slashed its Nvidia and Tesla bets last quarter and boosted its GameStop stake. Renaissance Technologies paired its Tesla and Nvidia bets and raised its GameStop wager last quarter. The quant fund, founded by the late Jim Simons, cut its Tesla stake by 86% and halved its Nvidia wager. Rentech boosted its GameStop position by more than 40% to 1.9 million shares. Okay, now here's a LinkedIn post on my number one pick for 2025, Archer Aviation, not investment advice or advisor. From yesterday, we're focused on building and testing our piloted type design aircraft. This is the aircraft we're working to certify and ramp into early production next year. It's not merely a developmental prototype like others in our industry continue to build. Did you catch that? These aircraft will only be capable of being flown with a pilot on board, as they are using the hardware and software that we are working to certify. Okay, guys, this is why I believe Archer will be the first in the air with passengers paying for their flights. It's important. With the type design now matured, it's ideal timing to bring up our factory in Georgia. Our plan is to start building aircraft in that facility early next year, with the initial units planned to be used for piloted demonstration and market survey flights with passengers next year. We already have parts on order for the aircraft we plan to produce in 2025, and our goal is to exit 2025 at a production rate of 2 aircraft per month in Georgia, with the plan to ramp beyond that in 2026. So that's it, guys. The next thing I'm looking for is an announcement the Covington plant is completed, hopefully on time and at budget. Then I'll be listening for type certification for the Midnight aircraft from the FAA. Okay, for the record, with the exception of Maine and Vermont, U.S. citizens convicted of a felony are barred from voting for at least some period of time. People that enter the nation illegally have committed a felony, and non-citizens are not allowed to vote in our elections. If you want to change the laws, be my guest. But Pennsylvania Democrats openly admit to counting illegal ballots in the McCormick-Casey race. Democratic officials in a few blue counties are openly admitting to counting disqualified ballots in defiance of state law and court orders. Therefore, I expect to see some arrests. I want people that break the law in handcuffs. Ken Griffin's money machine, market maker Citadel Securities. In July, Ken Griffin paid a record $45 million for a near immaculate 11-foot-tall Stegosaurus skeleton called Apex, a fitting purchase for a billionaire that many consider to be at the apex of finance. In a Sotheby's press release announcing the sale, Griffin said, "Apex was born in America and is going to stay in America." It was a heavy hint of Republicans supporting Griffin's thinly veiled political ambitions, which are being bankrolled by his estimated $43 billion fortune. Citadel Securities facilitates more internal stock trading than the New York Stock Exchange. A firm that already handles 1 in 4 U.S. equity trades and is a major player in treasuries has now set its sights on new targets, among them China's vast but politically sensitive equity market, the European government bond market, and the hitherto bank-dominated world of corporate fixed income trading. But Kenny, back in 2015, Citadel Securities saw one of its accounts, managed by a Shanghai-based futures firm, barred from trading shares. I think it was for short selling. Citi, a notorious short seller of AMC as well as AMC's primary investment banker, the author of The Ape and The Reverse Split, is being probed for alleged ties to a sanctioned Russian billionaire. U.S. government investigating Citigroup's anti-money laundering policies. Stay tuned. Breaking this weekend, the Biden administration may have done irreparable damage to the U.S. economy as the Pentagon loses $824 billion. The Pentagon's latest financial audit is in, and it's a complete disaster. Again, for the 7th year running, the Department of Defense failed to account for its budget, this time admitting it cannot explain what happened to $824 billion. Can you say unsustainable? U.S. borrowing $8 billion per day as rating agency Moody issues warning on nation's deteriorating fiscal strength. New numbers show the U.S. government is piling a staggering amount of debt onto its balance sheet every single day. The nonpartisan nonprofit Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget says the federal government is now borrowing $8 billion per day just to keep things running. Now let's balance that with a little bit of hope. Trump 2.0 will have an unusual amount of power. It's a feature of constitutional democracy that presidents can't do whatever they want. But Trump will be far less constrained than other modern presidents. They're referring to the Republicans gaining control of both the Senate and the House. Xi says China is ready to work with Trump to boost relations. You see how that works? Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.